Oh, it was absolutely ideal for us because there was a very natural opportunity for us in the sporting market in terms of, because I used to look, I mean, my son's into all sorts of extreme sports, skiing, mountain biking, marathon running, all that kind of stuff. And I can remember early on, you used to have these kind of drink things, and I used to think, what are you eating? What are you drinking? And I thought, chocolate would be absolutely ideal for that. So I could see the connection immediately. And fortunately, Sporting Chance could also see that something like a chocolate bar would fit very nicely into, what they were all about. So for me, it was a match made in heaven, quite frankly. And we do want to do something specific in terms of bringing out a sports bar. And that's something we're looking into at the moment, a bespoke sports bar.
That was a fantastic opportunity for me to work with very skilled individuals at Heriot-Watt University. So one of the key products that I wanted to work on was the design of my shorts for mountain biking, and I got linked up with a product developer at Heriot-Watt University and had the opportunity to, from sketch, so from my idea on a piece of paper, work through the various stages that the prototype took to get it to the end product, which was exactly how I wanted it to be. So Sporting Chance facilitated that process, and at key stages we met up with them, and they set up for me, in conjunction with Napier University, a focus group day, which allowed me to take the prototype at that stage to Glenches and work with individual females who came in and looked at the products. They tried it on, they got on a bike, and could then feed back to me directly what parts worked and what parts didn't, which therefore enabled me to develop the product further to get it right.
Yeah, so the Sporting Chance, that really allowed us to apply the science behind what we're doing, because an accusation can be that it's fun, and kids are getting, they're working out and they're active, but how beneficial really is it for the body? So when we heard of the Sporting Chance, we straight away applied to really get the science behind it, and that's what the study was used for. Yeah, so we piloted, it was a 7-week programme in a school in North Lanarkshire, and we had 30 children, 30 children 6 years of age, and we had 30 children that were 11 years of age. So we ran the two groups for an hour each, measuring their heart rate and various other things throughout the whole session. We took their BMI at the start of the programme and their BMI at the end, and with the 6-year-olds we had statistically lowered the BMI for them. We didn't do that with the 11-year-olds, but we found out that they were actually quite a fit bunch before starting the programme. So over a 6 or 7 week period, it's very difficult to statistically reduce something when people are already really quite fit. But the fact that it worked with our 6-year-olds was fantastic, a really, really good result. And we also found a lot of positive change with balance and coordination and movement as well. So it was great to get that behind the company. It added a lot of weight to what we do.
One of the products that we run is an uplift service. So we take people up the hill and they ride back down. It's on a Forestry Commission fire road. So you can get up it, but it's quite bumpy, it's quite rough. And so the trailer that we had wasn't really up to the job. The suspension fell apart, axles were falling off, bikes were falling off. It was horrendous. So I bought another trailer. It was very heavy, that didn't really work either. Couldn't take as many bikes, so that didn't work either. So I thought, okay, there's got to be a way to be able to get a large number of bikes up and down a hill quickly and safely without them scratching and falling off, and having suspension that can cope with the rough terrain. So I spoke to Sporting Chance and said, look, this is what I'm after, these 3 main things. Is there a university out there with students that are keen to help? So I filled in a form, explained everything that I was trying to do. That went to various different universities. Various universities got back to Sporting Chance and then fed back to me. And we went to Dundee Uni, and there was a student there that had worked on the Formula student race cars. So he knew all about suspension and everything else like that. He was also a biker. He also drove the same uplift Land Rover that we used. And we just clicked, we just got on really, really well, which I think is quite important as well. And so we sort of sat down, all the problems that I was explaining he understood as well, because he'd been on these uplifts before and all sorts of stuff. So it went from there really. Over a couple of months, we hashed out some ideas and some plans. He did some CAD designs and some drawings, and yeah, that it sort of went from there really. It went very quickly. It went from having no idea and using someone else's trailer to within probably a year having a working prototype that we still use, that's still working really well.
Back in the early days, I think when we were doing our homework and our research, I needed to know how potentially big the market was. I was advised to contact Sporting Chance Initiative, not something I'd ever have known about before I got involved in all of this. But like I say, Scottish Enterprise and Entrepreneurial Spark, between them, there's so much information given to you if you choose to take it. And it was a free service that was offered, which is always very attractive when you're a new business. And I contacted them, gave them all the information, and there's a lovely chap on the end of the phone, spent a long time. I felt a bit sorry for him because he was having to make him research women's periods. But he did it. He came back with all the facts and figures that I needed to know. Actually, more than anything, reaffirmed what I thought I already knew. It was better than I realised. The market was bigger, and yeah, it helped us go for funding when we went for the Edge Fund. That was nice to be able to say, these are credible people. They've done the research. This is what it says, and can't deny that.
So we became aware of Sporting Chance Initiative through some workshops that they put on advertised, and we attended them to listen to some excellent speakers. We then were aware of the Star Grant Award. Outdoor sports is a growing area in Scotland. We reckon that to get the best of outdoor sports, you need to be fit and healthy enough to be able to access that. So rather than creating products to get elite mountain bikers going that little bit faster, we thought about creating a wellness and fitness program to get people who are on the couch at the moment who would love to go mountain biking, fit enough and confident enough to be able to buy their first bike at Halfords and hit the ground running. Because if a 40-year-old mum thinks, I want to do this, gets her first bike, takes her kids out, then those kids are actually the downhill champions of the next generation. So we wanted to access a market that was an unconfident trainer, somebody who wasn't used to training, exercising or cycling. So what we did was engage with the Sporting Chance Initiative to give us access to Abertee University. They took a group of our customers who were training with us, a group of our customers who were training at home, and a group of customers who did nothing for the same period of time, and were able to show how much fitter each got towards that mountain biking. So we gave them a set programme, and they were able to say at the end of it, if you follow this programme scientifically, it's proven, you will get fitter for mountain biking. So that was massive for us.
We initially worked with a company called Team Tracker, which is a startup based in Glasgow, who had a Sporting Chance grant, and that enabled them to build technology which we built for them. And that's where my first kind of connection with Sporting Chance came. From there, we got to know Sporting Chance and their location at Stirling University and the work they do with the setup there. And about 6 months ago, we actually set an office up at the Innovation Park at Stirling University, which is one of the best moves we made. We went from being a remote organisation to being a sort of a hub. We also have people based down south of England, Europe, and we have an office in India as well. So it's quite a global organisation. But the Sporting Chance will often come to us and say, we've got a client who you might want to talk to. We haven't actually had any other work coming out of that yet, but we know that if we can provide advice to people who are in the network of Sporting Chance, then something will come out of that at some point, and we'll give into that network, and at some point we'll get something out of it. So that works for us, and being located in the same location is really good. So
yeah, Sporting Chance were very helpful, in particular in the early phase of our development. We received a £5,000 research and development grant to help us with the prototyping. And just generally, the people were very helpful and very positive about what we were trying to do. So it was a kind of a helping hand from an emotional perspective at the beginning of the business, and obviously every penny helps with regards to the startup costs. So yeah, very helpful indeed.